Thank you for joining us here this afternoon. As you are aware, today is the veto deadline on measures that I will be returning to the legislature without my approval. I had issued several days ago the list of 15 bills that I had contemplated veto. And I signed 13 of those measures as vetoes and will be informing the legislature. I know that there has been much conversation about Senate Bill 1240 relating to aquatic life. In the final analysis, I did decide to veto that measure. The Department of Land and Natural Resources and I are committed to working with all stakeholders to come up with a better solution. There are a number of initiatives that we will discuss with the advocates concerning this aquarium fisheries issue, including limited entry permits, expanding fishery replenishment areas to ensure that we have an opportunity to restore the fish life and replenish the reef. Setting caps on the number of permits, addressing catch limits, and establishing permit fees as appropriate. We are committed to introducing legislation next session that will properly address all concerns and create policy that will establish Hawaii as a model to sustainable nearshore fishery management in the world. I also did veto Senate Bill 410 related to collective bargaining. This bill directly impacts the ability of state departments to effectively manage its workforce by impacting management rights and the ability to direct a workforce. I have had much discussion with the management side of this and am committed to working with the unions to assure a balanced negotiating field when it comes to collective bargaining moving forward. I did veto Senate Bill 562 relating to tort liability. The Attorney General have been working directly with the counties to ensure that we can continue to provide access to our beach parks. The counties and the state government is working together to assure that lifeguards and ocean safety officers continue to provide protection for our citizens. We continue to work toward a solution. We are disappointed that the limited lifeguard liability had sunsetted, and certainly are looking forward to working to a more permanent solution regarding beach liability. And I think I'll stop there and take questions if there are any questions. I know that we've had preliminary discussions with the stakeholders already. Until I actually vetoed the bill, I guess, there wasn't an explicit schedule of that meeting. I don't know, Suzanne, if you would want to respond to that? Or?
Yeah, we are committed to working over the next couple of months to try to get a good proposal for next year.
Yes.
Do you foresee any challenges now that you decided to veto Senate Bill 1240?
Challenges in terms of?
Challenges in terms of creating a new management plan for fisheries?
I do know that the ocean and the ocean resources is something that our entire community are engaged in and care about. And so definitely there will be lots of dialogue. As you know, we have several different measures that we use to manage the ocean resource. We have created protected areas where no fishing is allowed to allow replenishment of various species. We've had limited access. We've had community manage fishing areas, working with the community to establish rules. And then again, we've more than a year ago, we issued brand new rules about reconstruction of fish ponds in order to help with aquaculture of fish along the shoreline. So I think all of these are tools that we have and that we'll be working toward to create a comprehensive ocean management plan that will allow us to protect our reefs and ensure that the most important species have the opportunity to replenish themselves and recreate.
Governor, on lifeguard liability, you said you're disappointed that the limited liability protection sunset. What's your interpretation of why the legislature did what they did? Did you discuss it with them?
I did not directly, and I'm certain we'll be back again next year. We are confident that we will be able to execute an agreement with all the counties to ensure that we do have and continue to have ocean safety officers at the beaches. And so, we'll be back again next year.
So would you introduce legislation next year to restore the limited liability protection?
Certainly, we'll be working with the counties to do something similar to that.
Anybody else?
One bill that I will be allowing to become law is House Bill 575 relating to public lands. As you know, that dealt with leases, commercial and industrial leases coming to the end of the 55-year or 65-year period. It has been a big issue on Hawaii Island, and although I believe that there are legal issues with the measure, I decided to allow it to become law without my signature. I know that it is a complex, challenging issue about what happens for lessees at the end of their leases, and we'll continue to work with the lessees and the department to implement this law.
Governor, what are the legal concerns? Anything you can add to that? What the concerns might be?
I mean, we had in the testimony, Attorney General had identified the constitutional concern about single-purpose legislation and special-purpose legislations. The concern was that we needed to provide a more justification for taking action with the specific lands and not having it apply to all leases. And so there are a couple of those types of technical issues that was raised in the testimony. And, we will see how that proceeds forward.
Anything else? Nate, you done?
I'm good.
I'm good? Okay, great.
Thank you.